New Rockaway SI. This is a sealed reel from Okuma for $100, and they have a 5,000 size, which is this one, for $10 more, and it is, yeah, it's completely sealed. So no water intrusion for $100. That's something really, really game changer for those who are asking what is the best combo, and I'm just really excited that Okuma did it. They have a sealed reel for $100. So let me show you what it looks like. I already pulled it out of the box because I was on live with the reel on Instagram, which Hook to Cook 805 is my handle on Instagram if you guys are interested on following me there. Just really quick, yo daddy chill, what's up, man? That's so funny. That is so funny. I love that. I love that meme. Let's see what's up from the Bay, Monterey County. Cool. So yeah, like I said, $100 sealed reel from Okuma. Epic. So normally your sealed reels are a lot more money. Like the Vanstal VR 75 is like $580, and like same with like the VR 50, same price. So this is the 5,000 sized Okuma Rockaway SI, completely sealed. So that's something, again, I've just been wanting Okuma to do for a really long time, and they did it. I'm sure there's other people asking, and that is really exciting to know that they can produce a reel like this. It does have a max drag of 22 pounds, and actually 20, yeah, I think it's 22. Oh, 24 pound drag. And it's 9.7 ounces. Just to compare it, the Vanstal VR 75 is 8.9 ounces or 9 ounces, around that. So this is about a quarter ounce heavier, but it is also less than 20% of the cost when it comes to a reel. And that's a question that I get a lot, is like, what reel do I pair with the Hawaiian Custom or the Rockaway SP? And sometimes it's hard to make a strong suggestion when, or recommendation when, yeah, sometimes I'm using a $300 reel or a $500 reel. So definitely $100 reel that's sealed, that's going to last you season after season after season. I think it's definitely a game changer. So you guys should definitely check this out. I wanted to do this live also, or at least show you guys before I put any line on it. That way you guys can see too. It already has the rubber, so you don't need to put electrical tape when you add line. I will be adding alien braid to this. This is Battlestar. It's 8-strand, really smooth, and yeah, it'll be a really good pairing for this. So I'll put 30-pound braid on this 5,000 series reel. It can hold about 300 yards of that 30-pound braid. It says that it can hold 295 pounds of 10-pound mono, which the equivalent in braid is going to be that 8-pound mono. So I'm guessing about 300 yards will fit on this spool. Does it come in black? Yes, this is black. Or well, unless you mean like that blue accent. I mean, this is how it comes. It comes black, a matte black with the blue accent. But it also has an EVA handle, saves weight, and it's going to be a less of a slippery grip. But I love that they went with a ball handle. So really stoked about this reel. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, can I recommend it? I did have somebody on my Instagram live say that they own the 3,000 size and they already have it and they've tested it out so far, and they say that it is really impressive. Oh, so I'm sorry. It says, does it only come in black? Yeah, it only comes in black. There's no other colors on it. But yeah, that's the main thing I just wanted to show you guys. I mean, you could reverse the handle if you're right-handed on your retrieve. What else? 24 pounds of drag. and it's sealed. Those are just the two main things. A sealed reel for $100. So the 2500 series all the way to 4000, they're all $100, and then 110 for the 5000 series, which this one is. I'm not really sure. I didn't really do too much in depth on the different handles. I don't know if the ball handle comes on every model. That's something that you guys could research on your own. But yeah, I am just ridiculously stoked to try this out. I'm gonna try it out tomorrow. That's why I'm gonna be spooling it up right when I end this live. I'm gonna go ahead and add line to it, unless you guys want to see that. I don't know if you guys do want to see that. I might as well. All right, let's do it. You guys are on live with me. Let's go ahead and put some line on this reel. Whoa. So I'm gonna go grab my Okuma Hawaiian Custom that I'm going to be putting this on. We get to see what that looks like. Looks like Yo Daddy Chill says he got the Okuma Samar 4000. Nice. How do you like it? So yeah, tomorrow Bob and I are gonna go and fish. It's gonna be a really big tide. It's gonna be a 6.4 foot high tide, which, I mean, I'm not really expecting that the bite's gonna be super hot, but we'll see. You never know. But we're probably gonna mainly just throw Carolina rigs all day, because I don't know if we want to get too close to the surf tomorrow. The wave power is going to be 600, so we'll see. Is your wave power crazy over there? Because it's hella crazy high. Yeah, so the waves are high and the wave power has been strong. Today it was over 1,000. Tomorrow it's going to be 600, as I mentioned. So we'll see what happens. But the reason we're going to be doing Carolina rig is so we can stand way up on shore and launch casts out. So here's what it looks like on an Okuma Hawaiian Custom. This one's the Seafoam Blue Hawaiian Custom. Time for trout fishing, I know. I was tempted to go to the lake tomorrow and do some bass fishing, but I think I really would rather hit the surf. It's smooth. I've had it for a year and still holding it together. I hear a bunch of the Hawaiian. I need one for striper fishing. I use the Okuma ROX, maybe the Rockaway. We got 5,000 on Thursday over at Moss Landing. Jeez. Yeah, definitely stay home. I need one of these for my Hawaiian Custom after my Reliance just hit its end of life. How long did you have your Reliance? That Reliance was another reel for $100. The only thing is it was a bit heavy, but it's still, I still have my Reliance put away here somewhere. So looks like Lou Dog is just joining, but this is the new Okuma Rockaway SI. This one's the 5,000 size, and it's $100 for a sealed reel. Yeah, so Gerald just says that he's had his Quantum Reliance for 3 to 4 years. So that's another $100 sealed reel. And again, I'm glad that Okuma stepped up and put out a sealed reel for $100. That's why I'm going live, because I'm so excited about this. I was actually going to have a representative from Okuma come on live with me at the same time, but we just couldn't get that to work. It's called the Rocks, very light action. It's 8'6". Oh, okay. Yeah, so, but the Hawaiian Custom, somebody mentioned catching striper on the Hawaiian Custom. The biggest reason I love the Hawaiian Custom is, number one, it can cast really, really far. It's the farthest casting rod I've ever casted, and I've casted $500 custom setups that are made for long casts, and this just beats every rod that I've had out on the surf when it comes to casting those 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce baits. And the beauty of it is it can cast the Carolina rig too. Again, it's the 10.7 Hawaiian Custom. It's rated from 1/2 ounce all the way up to 2 ounces. So it's one rod that you can Carolina rig and throw jerk baits with. So, I mean, forget it. You're not going to find another rod that can do the same things. There's stripers in Tijuana. Who would have known? Yeah, they're up and down. They're everywhere. They're from Washington, Oregon, all the way to Mexico. These things were imported here from the East Coast, and they have definitely taken over. They swim upstream, they breed upstream, then they go to the ocean, they get stuck in the ocean, and they're prolific. How much does it weigh? Good question. It weighs, this is the 5,000 size, and it weighs 9.7 ounces. Again, to put it in perspective, the Van Staal VR75 is 9 ounces. So this is 3/4 ounce heavier than the Van Staal, but it's less than 20% of the price. So I'll take it. And it's just so easy to recommend, especially if, you know, if it lives up to everything that I think it's going to be. It's going to definitely be a reel that I'm definitely going to be recommending people to get, because if you look at it this way, you can get a Hawaiian Custom for about $160, $100 more. So you're looking at $260 for a full setup that will last you a long time and give you the ultimate castability when it comes to surf fishing. And then another reason the Hawaiian Custom is really good for the striped bass is it's such a parabolic rod that whenever the fish makes a head shake, it will absorb that head shake all the way down the body of the rod, and it won't let that line get loose on you. And that's definitely what you don't want, is to introduce slack into your line to let that fish shake your hook. Yeah, the casting distance is ridiculous on the Hawaiian Custom. How was the travel version for you on the Hawaiian Custom? It was really good. I took it to Mexico. We were throwing up to 1 ounce plugs, and it really doesn't feel much different from the 2-piece. So the travel rod is 4-piece, and it actually, the flex, everything, the response was nearly identical. I really couldn't tell that I was throwing a travel rod, and still having a travel rod that's 9 or 10'7". It's awesome. The only thing, I didn't catch anything on it because the wave power, the energy down in Mexico on the Pacific side was just way too strong to even get anywhere, and the fish weren't in tight. So I'm using a 3000 Stratic. Do you think a 4000 is standard? Yes, I think usually what you want to look at, because different companies, their gauge is different. Like a 5000 series on one manufacturer will be a 4000 series in another manufacturer. So what you mainly want to look at is going to be your weight. You want it around that 10 ounce or under, and you want line capacity. For our areas, maybe my area north, anything north of Ventura, you might want to step up to the 4000 series, just because you're trying to bomb longer casts over bigger waves, and you might hook into a fish that can pull all of your line. If you went with like a 2500 series down here or up here, which I've done, I've casted, made a long cast, full spool, and threw the whole spool out. Like, I had no line left on my reel. So imagine if I snap my braid, now I don't even have that much line. So that's mainly why you want to go for a 4000 or 5000 series, is because you might spool out your line and not have enough to continue your trip. So it's just in case, and it's just in case you hook something big that really wants to make a really, really long run, you're confident that you have enough line to bring them back. How is the, okay, let's see, I'm using the Stratic. Okay, perfect, we're all caught up. So let's go ahead and add some line to this bad boy. Let's do it. Let's see here. What do I need? I need this. I'm missing one more little piece. Oh no. I might not even be able to do it. Shoot. Oh, there it is. Sweet. That was a close call. Make sure. I hope I have enough line left. So I'm going to be spooling it with alien braid. This is 28-pound Battlestar alien braid. So let's do it. Super easy to use. Oh, I actually don't need this piece. So this is one of those Cast King line spoolers. Get rid of this because I'm not pulling line off of it. I'm just going to be adding line on. So we got spinning reel side. Put that on like that. Okay. Casting, spinning, spool's gonna go that way. Perfect. All right. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. All set. Is it available? If not, when will it be available? They are already available. The only thing is if they're in stock. So they are for sale already, but you just have to make sure they are in stock. So I think Okuma themselves, they have been sold out if you try going to them directly, but that's because they've already sent them to the local tackle shops. So that's what you're going to want to do is check in with your local tackle store, call them, ask them. I know my local tackle store has them coming and they will ship. So if they still have them in stock and you call them, then you'll be able to hopefully have one on order. And that's Been There, Caught That is my local tackle shop. I know for sure they're getting these. So again, if you guys are just joining, I am spooling up a brand new reel from Okuma. It is the Rockaway SI. This one's the 5000 series, and it's a $100 sealed reel, which is just epic. And then what I do when I spool a reel is I just tie a loop. I make a loop, a big loop, and I just tie a uni knot. Go ahead and give yourself, it's basically a noose. And what I'll do, I know this is going to be really hard to see. What I'll do is I'll double it over and then put it on my spool, just like this. But let me cut that. Cut my tag end here. I did just get, I'm excited about these. These are braid cutters, hook-to-cook.shop braid cutters. They are very, very sharp, and they're made specifically for braids, so they cut so fast and clean, just like that. All right, so let's do it. Just put this line that I tied right on the spool. Again, the Okuma Rockaway SI, the spool itself already has rubber on it, so it will not need any additional electric tape or anything. There you go. And again, I'll be able to hold about 300 yards of this 30-pound alien braid. Have you tried the Sapphire yet? Yeah, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. The thing that I'm not really a fan of with the Sapphire is this. I'll show you right now. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's up here. This is the Sapphire. This is just between us, between me and you 40 people who are watching right now. All right? Let's see. So this is the Sapphire. This one's the 4000 size. And this is a bait feeder feature. To me, that is a saltwater intrusion opening built into the reel. So as you can see, I have not tried it yet. I just have had not so great experiences when it comes to the bait feeder or the free spool right here. So if I click that free spool on, I can reel backwards. Why? I don't get why you'd want to reel backwards. Like in the comments, tell me why you'd want to reel backwards or feed line. I can see maybe feeding line, but why don't you just open the bail if you're feeding line? Like, yeah, I'm not sure. So just to answer your question on the Sapphire, I'm not a fan of the reverse feature. It's not necessary for any of the fishing that I do whatsoever. And then it's also just another place for water to get into the internals possibly. So yeah, just between us, just between the 44 of us who are here right now, the Sapphire is one I have not tried yet. Might have to do a giveaway or something. Oh, somebody mentioned the Reliance earlier. So this is a sealed reel for about $100, but it was just really heavy. This one's actually the really big one. This one's shoot, I don't know what size this one. 6,500, but it's super heavy. So yeah. My thoughts. So Cam Wen says, what are your thoughts on the Okuma X series? I love it. It's super smooth, and it is very corrosion resistant. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like just so that you guys can see. This one's going to be on my wife's rod, my wife's new rod. She's excited to use it. Whoa. But this is the X series right here. And it's just super smooth and it's super light. This one's a 4,000 size. The thing is I get asked a lot, like what rod would you recommend, or what reel? What's the setup? And not a lot of people want to spend $300 on a reel. I believe the X series runs about $280, that range, right? I mean, it's an awesome reel, but it's not sealed, but it does have corrosion resistant features built into it. The washers are super tight, or like, I mean, the washers and the seals are really beefy, but yeah, the X series is just really refined. It's super smooth, super lightweight. It's a really refined reel. But again, it's in that 280 range, and that's what it looks like. I like it. I've been using it. Like my last 4 or 5 surf videos are actually using this, and I really like it. Got me thinking about it now too. I see. Yeah. So I mean, I would just suggest, yeah, use the Samar until it gives out, but that might be sooner than the Rockaway SI is gonna give out. And I expect the Rockaway SI to last 3 to 4 seasons, just like the Quantum Reliance did for a lot of people, including myself. So I am excited about the Rockaway. And that's the thing is, you know, especially since I do get a lot of questions on gear, how easy is it to recommend a $100 sealed reel that weighs 9.7 ounces? But if you went with the 4,000 series, I believe it weighs 9.2 ounces. So a little bit lighter on the 4,000 series. How's the weight on the Hawaiian Custom compared to the Trifecta Light? The Trifecta Light is lighter than the Hawaiian Custom. I don't really know the specs much on that, but it's negligible to me. I mean, I'd rather have the casting distance. So the story on the Trifecta Light is that used to be my go-to rod. I've landed so many fish on the Trifecta Light. I've landed a 14-pound striper on the Trifecta Light. The action, it's strong, the sensitivity. It is a beautiful, beautiful rod. That being said, there was a tournament 3 years ago I was a part of. It was the More Than Fishing tournament. and it's a 3-day fishing tournament, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I went out on Friday, the first day of the tournament, and I started making casts, and I realized that I was not getting nearly the distance that I was getting on my Hawaiian Custom. For the rest of the tournament, I went back to my Hawaiian Custom. I couldn't bear to not have the casting distance that the Hawaiian Custom gave me. So, long story short, that's my thoughts on the Trifecta Light. I would just way rather have the casting distance and the ability to put my bait past that second or even the third break. It was really just frustrating that Friday, like seeing where I want my bait to land, giving it my best cast, and then landing in front of the wave. That was just a terrible feeling. Not being able to get my bait in the position that I want because I'm limited on casting distance. So I put the tensioner on my line spooler. I put it on super tight because I want this line to be really tight on the reel. And again, it has 24 pounds of drag on it, which is perfect. Perfect. It's just what you want, especially if you're spooling on 28 pounds like I am. Again, I should be able to fit about 300 yards. I don't have a measurement on this line spooler, but based on the box, it says that the Rockaway SI should be able to hold 295 yards of 10-pound test mono. And this 28-pound braid is equivalent to about 8-pound mono. Yeah, I'm glad you agree with me on that, Cam. Have you tried the ODM Evo X? I recently picked one up and it casts great. What are the specs on the ODM Evo X? And then also, I'm talking about lure specs, like what's the lure rating and then the length of the rod too. What's up, Ace? Welcome, man. But yeah, it's definitely packing on some line there, that's for sure. So there's a lot of aluminum components on this reel as well as carbon components. So that's also going to be good when it comes to being rugged and being a reel that's going to last you on the surf. I think my tension is a little too strong, but at least I know that my line's getting put on nice and tight. Let me loosen it a little bit. It's a little too tight. But yeah, I'm just answering some questions. You should sell Okuma rods and reel on your page. I agree. I would definitely do it. Use a spin fisher. Yeah. How much are spin fishers? The biggest draw to this, I mean, I'm happy with the reels that I use right now. I mean, I have the VR75. I also have the Okuma X Series 4000 that I've been using mainly, and I've landed 10-pound striper on those, 13-pound striper, and they've been just really good reels. I don't really see the need, but again, this one's $100 sealed. I don't see why I would need something else. Just so I could pay in installments. That's funny. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be able to pack 300 yards on this thing, I think. Make sure the line's going on straight. Looks like it's pretty good. But yeah, I definitely don't want to overpack, because if you overpack your spool, it looks like you're going to be, well, you're going to open yourself up to some wind knots. So I think that's about good right there. That's how much line I'm going to put on there. It is a little uneven, a little, just a slight coning going to the top, but not bad, not terrible. So the ODM Evo is 10.6. It's good length. It sounds stiff. It sounds like a stiff rod. 3/4 ounce to 5 ounces. 5 ounces, that's a big, you'll be able to throw big plugs. That's probably, for me, that would be a bait and weight setup. Yeah, that would be more of like I'm throwing a 3-ounce pyramid sinker with some sand crabs or something for perch and striper. You need a bigger shoebox, bro. Why? Why do I need a bigger shoebox? Yeah, that's gonna be solid. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put a liter of 25-pound just mono on this. Thoughts on the GLS? I don't own any GLSs, so I wouldn't be able to tell you how I feel about those. But right now, my favorite boat rod is the Okuma. The spinning rod is the ECS Custom. That one's a good rod. Been catching a lot of rockfish on that thing. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do an FG knot to my 25-pound mono. Do you experiment with JDM gear? The closest thing, I've just been throwing JDM lures. That's what I've been experimenting with. I have owned an ODM rod in the past. Pretty nice. My buddy Mario, he had a Shimano Dialuna, and we have this beach that to get to the sand is about 1 mile, and then like to walk to the best spots on the beach is about another mile. So he walked 2 miles, didn't make a cast until he got to his location. First cast with the Dialuna, it snapped. So he went all the way and he couldn't even fish. That was sad news. What was the thing you just used? I used a Cast King line spooler. I found it on Amazon. What was that orange thing on your rod you unlocked? Yep, that's what it was. It just let me put line. If you just joined, I just put line on this Rockaway SI. This one's the 5000 series, and now I'm going to put a top shot on it. So let's go ahead and do that. I like to do it at my truck. Let's go. You guys are coming with me. Thoughts on Daiwa Aculite for Lucky Craft? I'm not really familiar with the Aculite. I'm guessing that's a reel. So if you guys are interested, let me show you guys what you'll need if you're going to be doing an FG knot. One thing you're going to need, some line pullers. I made these out of a broomstick, $5 broomstick. I cut it into a bunch of 6-inch pieces, and I wrapped it with tennis grips so that when I put my line on it, I could really pull it without cutting my fingers. So I actually have a video on my channel how to make line pullers, if you guys want to see that. Another thing that I find necessary is, there's my 25-pound. Super glue. You need super glue. It's something that I've been doing for like the last 1.5 years or so, and I have not had an FG knot fail on me because I've been using super glue. It's been a huge game changer for me. So let me get my super glue, my lighter. and I'll show you guys exactly how I tie my FG knot and what I do. Again, I'm just going to be Carolina rigging for tomorrow. So, and then if you guys saw the last episode, you guys will know why I put a top shot when I do a Carolina rig. It's because if you try to thread your braid through your egg sinker, it's so limp that sometimes you can't even get it in that slot. And then also, since it's so limp, if you're going to be Carolina rigging with braided line, a lot of times that braided line can wrap around the sinker and then your sinker doesn't slide anymore. So that's why I add a top shot. So let's go ahead and do this quick FG knot while I got you guys on. Thanks for joining too, by the way, on a random Tuesday. Put it far away so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I take my braided line, I'll bite it like that. Then I'll take my mono like that, nice and tight. Up and over and down and under. Down, under. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Leave it in the comments what knot you guys use when you're joining braid to mono. Again, right now I'm tying the FG knot. I know that the RP knot works really well. It's really fast. If I was going to do that in the field, I would definitely do the RP knot, but since I have time, since I'm going fishing tomorrow and I'm doing things now, I like to do the FG knot. It's just really thin, strong. So something new I learned, if you guys are familiar with the FG knot, you'll usually finish the knot and then you'll burn the end to create that bulb. I've actually come to find out that it's actually better to go ahead and create the mushroom, the bulb, before you slide your FG knot up. So I just created that little bulb right there. And then now I can slide my braid up without being in danger of burning my braid and just weakening my knot with the heat. Now we go back to the line pullers. I'll go ahead and pull on the tag end a little bit. Whenever you're doing an FG knot, your first pull shouldn't be really strong. Just start cinching things down little by little. Forgot to wet it actually, to let it slide a little bit better. Yep, this next pull is going to be a little tighter. Really good pull. Again, I'm just joining 30-pound braid to 25-pound mono. And I'll show you guys how much I put onto my rod. I think you guys will trip out. But if I was doing an FG knot, I would make a shorter top shot. I mean, an RP knot. So here's what it looks like now. Let me show you guys. I hate the FG, but it's what I use, LOL. Double uni. Your rod collection is amazing. Thank you. What is a top shot? So a top shot is, if you use braided line, you don't tie directly braided line to your lure or your swivel or whatever you're going to be tying onto. You want that mono, partially because you don't want the fish to see your line, and oftentimes braided line is not clear. It's got a color, it's dark, it's just easily visible. So mono or fluoro helps keep those keeps the fish from seeing your line. So a top shot is basically mono at the top end of your braided line. So that's why they call it a top shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and burn that little piece. And then here's the game changer right here. This is the game changer for me. For those who do tie the FG knot. So here's my FG knot. I don't know if you guys can see that. Nice and clear, that's my FG knot. Now, what I do is get that liquid super glue. I learned this from the tuna guys. The guys who fish for tuna swear by it, and I agree. I am sold on super glue now. I add a drop of super glue all the way around my FG knot, and since I've been doing that, I have not had one fail in over a year. Actually, almost 2 years now I've been doing this. Add a drop of super glue, and then what happens is your braid soaks up that super glue and locks in. Like, you will not have an FG knot ever unravel on you ever again if you guys just put a little drop of liquid super glue. You can get these at the dollar store for $1.25 though. Dollar Tree. It's not $1 anymore, but you get 2 of these for $1. And then you may or may not know, but liquid does activate super glue, but it's already in there. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it around a little bit, and now that FG knot is thin and strong. And then so yeah, there's my top shot. I haven't cut it off the spool yet. I'm gonna give it a couple arms lengths. And then what I do is I get that knot in between the first and second guide. So when I reel it up, reel it in, I'll stop it right in between the guides, just like this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's the joint. There's the mono up here, and then there's my braid right there, and it's right in between this guide and this guide. That way, when I'm casting, my finger is on the braid with my glove, and I have a lot of room in case I need to cut, but it also allows my sinker to easily slide up and down, and then I'll usually cut it about 2 to 3 feet. And that's going to be where I tie my my tactical angler clip or my lure swap quick clip to that. But let me show you guys the reason I have a top shot is, again, so that my sinker can slide well. If you guys are just joining, I'm doing this all because I'm going to be testing out this Okuma Rockaway SI tomorrow. This is what the drag sounds like. Sounds pretty good. I'll jump back into the questions right now if you guys have any. But again, I'm going to be throwing the Carolina rig tomorrow. And this is what I was talking about earlier. There's that egg sinker. And you see that little hole goes all the way through it? If you're using braided line, it's like, it's so flimsy, sometimes it's really hard to get it in there. But if you're using mono, 25 pound, it slides right in all the way through. And then when you're retrieving it and a fish bites, it's not gonna feel that line. And since that mono is nice and smooth, the sinker slides perfect on it, and it's stiff enough to where it won't tangle up like braid can on that egg sinker. So that's why I put a top shot on when it comes to the Carolina rig. And also on the jerk baits. I'll go ahead and I'll tie on the top shot. That way, this is a lot less visible than just braid. So usually just tie onto a quick clip and then be able to swap out while I'm on the water. Which, by the way, this is the lure that I've been absolutely loving. This one's the, speaking of JDM, somebody asked about a JDM product. This is a Japanese product, the IMA 110. 110 length on it, but it's the weight of a 115. It's a 3/4 ounce bait, so it's a smaller profile, but it dives just as deep as the Battlestar 115. So I've been really stoked about this. I'm getting distracted. I hate the FG. Okay, I already read that. For freshwater, it's always all bright knot, but I'm starting to use the FG knot. Yeah, FG knot's a pain. It definitely is a pain. You guys saw that took a long time to do, but it's so worth it with how smooth it is and how it doesn't fail. Certain joining knots like the uni knot, the uni to uni, or the RP knot, if you're casting over and over and over and it's passing through the guides like I like it, eventually hitting the guides, the knot gets weaker and weaker, and eventually you're going to cast and it's going to snap. And if that hasn't happened to you yet, then when it does, remember this. Leveled up to the FG knot after watching your channel. Cool, thanks, man. How heavy a top shot do you use for the Lucky Craft or jerkbait? 25 pound. Because I go from 30-pound braid to 25-pound mono. Do you put weight on the Battlestar? No, I do not. In other words, a leader. Yes, it's a leader. It's basically a leader. What brand mono? I don't think it really matters, but I'm using P-line right now. This one's actually, this might even be fluorocarbon. But I like mono because, especially on an FG knot, it's easier for the line to bite into. Seems like it makes it easier to switch from Carolina rig to jerkbait. Yeah, since you already have a leader on, I mean, you just cut the Carolina rig on, but that's also why I tie a long top shot. And this is gonna last a long time. I mean, I'll probably not have to tie a new FG knot or a new top shot for maybe 3 or 4 trips. So that's awesome. And that's something that I'm really excited about. So let's go ahead and, I mean, I'll be going out tomorrow, so I might as well tie a Carolina rig on. So I'll just show you guys how I do that really quick too. And I still like using 25-pound on my Carolina rig because I don't like, if you go too limp on that, if you go with like 12-pound or 8-pound, I know guys who use 6-pound in our area, but you're always gonna have tangled up line, knots in your line because the surf up here really manipulates that line and it can knot up on itself. Sure, that lower line, the 10-pound, 8-pound, 6-pound is fine south of Ventura because the surf action isn't as strong. But the stronger your surf action, you're gonna want to up your line. Where did I put that? All right. Let's go ahead and do this. And tomorrow I'm gonna start off, I don't know if you guys have been around for a while, but back in 2017, we released a video called Bob's Secret Bait. And it's all about the Z-Man Crusties. We didn't really tell anybody that's what we were using, but we were catching a bunch of fish on it. And I'm carrying them in the store now. So I'm like, all right, well, let's do an episode on the Crusties. Let's see if they still work. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow, is see if the Crusties still work. All right, so I got my bead on there, got my swivel. And I always just tie uni knots. They're quick, easy, and they're very dependable. Oh, I went in the garage to find my line cutters, and they're right here. They were just in my pocket. I'll show you guys the whole setup or the whole rig right now. And I like about a 5-foot leader, but I'm going to show you guys how I store the Carolina rig from spot to spot. If you guys haven't seen that short yet that I made, it's pretty game changer. For those of you that do throw the Carolina rig, I think you guys are going to like this. I'll show you guys what most people do, and then I'll show you guys what I've done and what I'm really stoked about. And some people have already tried it and they say it's a game changer, so I'll show you guys that right now. Just need to find the right hook. Might have a couple hooks in here. There's one. I like using size 2 on my Carolina rigs now. That's a size 2. Perfect. Plenty of surf action at Imperial Beach. Any advice you can give on fishing high